Hey, we doing this or what? What's happening?
I just don't understand why we're dressed like this. I mean, it's July. Don't you think it's a little too early to be thinking about Christmas?
Haven't you ever heard of Christmas in July? Plus, everybody on the forums are requesting tutorials for gifts to make so they can get a head start on making everything for this holiday season.
Well, that makes sense.
Plus, this username is Taken requested a tutorial on plushies, and since we had John Murphy come in last week, I figured we'd show everybody how to make one of his stupid creatures.
So, what are you doing with the reindeer?
My name is John Murphy, and I am with stupidcreatures.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy stupid creature using an old pair of jeans and any old kind of accent fabric you have lying around.
DIYer for life.
The first thing I'm going to do is sever this leg entirely off. Flop that leg wrong side out and separate it into two separate panels by cutting very, very close to the seams. My first step is going to be making a dart for the bottom so he'll poke out a little bit. I'm just going to fold up like 4 inches like that and then just snip off a good inch chunk or so. Because the sides are different, the creature might look lopsided, but that's really kind of what we're going for. I do want to make certain things universal, like how far up from the bottom the dart is for his butt and how big those darts are. I've got my darts cut, so I'm going to fold my dart over so that side matches side. I'm going to pin once at the corner. I'm going to do that to the second side as well. I'm just using the edge of the foot for seam allowance, which is roughly 1/4 inch. What we're left with is essentially your monster's booty. The next thing I'm going to do is take the other end of my fabric, the other raw edge, and fold it over. This is going to be the front of our monster. What I like to do is just determine the shape of the interior of my mouth by placing my folded piece over it and cutting out a generous rectangle. And I like kind of short faces. It gives them a nice stupid look. And I'm just going to cut straight across. Take your tummy fabric, place your interior fabric over it, pin it into place. I'm going to run a straight seam along these edges, binding them together for always. We have the tummy fabric with right side facing up. Here we have the face fabric. I'm going to take this edge and bind it to that one. What we've got so far is a great long strip of fabric. What I'm going to do now is pick right up here at the seam of bottom lip and tummy and fold it over like a pocket. Bring the top lip down like that. This takes a little bit of adjusting. Flop the two ends over like that just to have a look. Match your tummy's bottom edge up with the edge of its bottom. I've got a face, 2 lips, and a tummy, and a booty. And grab my other piece of trouser fabric, cut a rectangle like that, and cut them into 2 rectangles like this. What I'm going to do is sew them together on this raw edge. What I'd like to do is go back to my accent fabric and cut some palms out. There's really, once again, no math to this. I cut 2 matching triangles out, 1 for each hand. I've got 2 arms and 2 hands. I'm going to pin the edges of the 2 together. What I'm going to do next is decide where I want my fingers to go by taking some chalk and making some brief marks. 3 fingers per hand is nice and monsterly. Off we go again to the sewing machine. I've sewn my monster fingers. Now I'm going to attach the palms to the sides of the wrists with a straight stitch. I just sort of swing one side over to match the other edge, like that. I'm going to take the entire edge of palm and arm and just swing that over to the other side, and I'm going to sew up the entire length. I'm going to pin it there. I've got my arm ready to finish sewing. The last thing we want to do for this arm is cut out the seam allowance around his fingers and notch those cuts. I've sewn both my arms. I'm going to turn them right side out now. Use the tip of something pointy, like this knitting needle that glows, to turn your fingers out. All right, what I've got are 2 finished arms. What I'm using is polyester fiber fill. Usher that stuffing forward, and I've got 2 stuffed arms ready to be sewn in. What I'm going to do now is return to my other piece of trouser fabric and my accent fabric. I'm going to overlay the 2 like this and cut out 2 reasonably similar shapes. You can make triangles, you can make rounded off rectangles, you can make lightning bolts, whatever you want. The point is we're going to have a front of the ear and a back of the ear. I'm going to pin them into place. I'm going to sew the ears together now and leave the bottom part open. Now that my ears are sewn, I'm going to turn my ears right side out. I'm going to press them flat like this. To ensure that my ears stay flat, I'm going to run a straight stitch around the edge, about 1/4 inch in from the edge. When we return, I will show you how to put it all together.
I'm here to see Helen. Best Job Ever is a weekly series profiling the coolest jobs in the tech space. Check it out at bestjobsever.net. Are you listening? Maybe you'll find your best job ever.
This is you. This is your style.
Show off my t-shirt.
This is Threadbanger.
The last part we're going to make is the legs. I'm going to go back to the piece of trouser fabric I have. I'm going to fold it in half like this, cut free-handed some foot-like shape with a toe and a leg. Flip my leg right sides touching, sew a straight stitch this way and this way, leaving this bit open for turning and stuffing. And there I have a sewn up foot. I'm going to do the very same to the other one. There we are, my second leg. Now I'm turning them right side out. Here we have two little feet. We've got all of our parts cut. We've got our ears made. We've got our arms and our legs stuffed. I'm going to put a tablespoon of buckwheat groats down inside the ends of the ears. And there you go, a nice floppy, weighted ear. The next thing I'm going to do is pin my lips together, flop the body wrong side out, match this edge to this edge. I'm going to go ahead and insert my ears. Like you can see the lips, that's the front of my face. Tuck that in there, color side down essentially. Get it right next to the fold at the top of his head, pin it into place. Same thing with the arm, with the palm facing down. I'm going to shove that in where I think the arms ought to go. There we are. I'm going to run a straight stitch up the entire side. Here's my straight stitch up the side, my arm, and my ear. It's going to be a little bit awkward because there's an arm already inside and an ear already inside. We're going to have to sort of tuck those away for a bit. It's best to align your edges by first aligning the bottom with the bottom. And I'm going to try to line this other arm up sort of with the other one. I've definitely pinned very securely the edge and all my attachments, ear, arm, and bottom. Now the age-old question, where to attach the legs? We're just going to take our thumbs, pull evenly out like that. I'm going to insert my leg toe side up, or toe pointing away from the butt, which is there. I will pin that down. I will now do the same with the other leg. Our legs are secure where they're going to be stitched. I'm going to run a straight stitch from the edge to maybe here and stop. Then I'm going to run another stitch from here to there, maybe stop. I want to leave a good 3-inch opening for turning and stuffing. I'm going to very, very carefully turn this monster out. We need to put his eyes on now. I like to use child-safe doll eyes. I'm going to snip a tiny, tiny, tiny hole right about where I want my eye. I insert my eye through all the holes. The shaft comes through. The backing slides down it. Here we are. He is fully composed, ready to be filled. So you can make these as packed, as firm, or as loose as you want. There we are. It's time to sew up the stuffing hole. Easy, simple monster made from a pants leg. I think we'll call this fellow Oscar. Thanks so much for making some Stupid Creatures with me. You can check out more of my work at stupidcreatures.com or visit my store at stupidcreatures.etsy.com. Thanks so much.
A big thanks to John for coming by the studio and hooking it up with the tutorial. Now remember, if you have any cool ideas for some DIY gifts this season, leave them in the comments below.
Or send us in a video showing us what you've made.
And since you're already thinking about gift giving, you might as well sign the handmade pledge.
Just say no to mass-produced crap by handmade. Viva la resistance!
Whoa, whoa, you're scaring the deer. We'll see you next week.
Or send us in a video showing us what you've made. You're shedding. Alright, sorry.
Okay.
It's on my nose. Okay, freaking July and I don't know. Sorry.
Well, and then there's this username is not taken. She requested a thing all about plushies.
I think the
and
username
since
is taken, actually.
This username is not taken?
It is taken.
Well, and then there's not this username is not taken.
Sorry.